Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Monday, May 1st, 2023. And our top story today, Autism Speaks, helping caregivers find the resources needed to help a loved one. And joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Arianna Esposito is with Autism Speaks. Arianna, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here.
It's great. And let's talk about World Autism Month. Tell us about the month. Why is it so significant, and why does it need a full month? Why does autism need a full month?
Well, April being World Autism Awareness Month, it's really about supporting the autism community and promoting increasing understanding and inclusion of people with autism. While we talk a lot about it in April as part of World Autism Awareness Month, we firmly believe that this is a conversation that has to happen every single day throughout the year, and establishing the inclusion of people with autism really as a societal standard.
Yeah, really, really important. And I think some of the audience knows that my wife works with children with autism and helps them. And so there's clearly a need for professional and resources to help those people. We'll get into that in a little bit, but tell us a little about Autism Speaks. What is the organization? What's the mission? And what are the types of resources you provide to families with either that are parents with autism, have children with autism, or maybe people that are just autistic?
Sure. We are a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to creating an inclusive world for all people with autism. We do this through a few different ways, through advocacy, state and federal advocacy, through research and our clinical programs, as well as services and supports. And we provide resources and information for individuals and their caregivers throughout the country.
And in terms of, I don't even know how to refer to this, but in terms of the people that have autism, do you have a feeling for or do you have the numbers behind that? What percentage of the U.S. population or what percentage of the world population may have autism? So
we know the most recent prevalence rates by the CDC estimate autism in the U.S. is about 1 in 36, and it affects roughly 1 in 45 adults.
And how would I know? I mean, is there a type of testing that you can go to a practitioner to learn whether or not you or someone you love has autism? How do I find out if I suspect that I might have autism?
So my first recommendation would be to reach out to Autism Speaks. We have our incredible autism response team that provides information and resources to families all over the country. And specifically, we get a number of requests about where to go for a diagnosis, who to see for a diagnosis. And our team helps connect individuals and their families to those types of resources. And then someone who's trained in diagnosing autism will do what they do best.
Arianna, I want to get into this a little bit over this segment and then in the second segment. But in terms of creating an inclusive environment for people with autism, I mean, there are lots of jobs that people with autism can do. It's not the quote unquote end of the world, the proverbial end of the world as someone has this. There's a lot of great jobs that people with autism can have and do have.
Yes, that is true. What we do know is that autism affects every single person differently. And we often have a saying, we say this often, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. And so each person's unique experience with autism is very different, and the supports and skills and strengths that they have really will vary. And so for some, employment is absolutely an option, and for others, it may be a little bit more of a challenge.
Arianna, I need to take a very quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about autism and where to find resources. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms? Especially for the smaller businesses. I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
Arianna, thanks so much for sticking around with us for segment number 2. Really appreciate you being here this morning to discuss autism.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is a really important topic, and I want to kind of follow up our conversation in the first segment. Let's talk about services that are available. There may be families out there, and I think you hit on this a little bit. People can go to the Autism Speaks website, but there are services available both within your organization, maybe even state and local communities that have access to autism services. What can you tell us, and what do I do to find them?
Sure. So I'll highlight resources that Autism Speaks has. As I mentioned, the Autism Response Team. We also have, it's called Caregiver Skills Training Program, and it's a training for caregivers to better understand and support their children at home. In addition, we have a number of toolkits on our website, which cover a variety of topics. They cover everything from the first signs of autism and what to do after the first 100 days after receiving an autism diagnosis. And then it continues throughout the lifespan. As an organization, we're committed to supporting individuals with autism and their families and those who love them across the spectrum and throughout the lifespan. And our resources really mirror that. So as we have resources as children grow up and grow into adulthood, we cover things like managing an IEP or an individualized education plan process, which happens at the school level, transitioning to adulthood, employment, housing, and then we've got even ones that cover blood draws and dental visits. So those are really good resources that we offer to the community.
Can we talk a little bit about employment? Because there may be some adults out there, maybe just diagnosed or going through the process of being diagnosed. How do you find employment? And I have to think that the world today is a lot more inclusive, and there are more opportunities available for not only people with autism, but just people in general.
Mm-hmm. Great question. And we've made significant strides in more inclusive employment opportunities for people with autism. But the reality is that the underemployment rate for people with autism is somewhere estimated to be between 80 and 85%. And that is much higher than in other disability categories. And part of that leads really to what I mentioned earlier about autism. One of the deficits of autism is really in that communication piece. And so we as an organization have our employment program and resources called Workplace Inclusion Now, where we work with employers, people, our job seekers, and the community to provide information and resources to empower employers and empower job seekers to build a more inclusive employment environment. And
last question, Arianna, what people that are watching this and they want to help out, maybe they have a family member, maybe they know somebody, maybe they're just, they see this and they want to help out. How can they get involved? Can they become caregivers? Can they make donations? What's the best way to make themselves available and to support the World Autism Day and World Autism Year? Because we want to be talking about this all year long, not just 1 month out of 12.
Yes, that's right. I would start by going to our website, www.autismspeaks.org. We have, like I mentioned, all of our resources and information, and then ways to get involved as well at the state and local level.
Yeah. Well, Arianna, we're going to leave it there. Thank you for all the work that you're doing on behalf of individuals with autism and making people aware. Really important. People need to get involved and help out where they can. Great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
And that wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to, drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the latest curated news and lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more in all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content? Well, visit our website and, of course, all of our streaming partners. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. You're not going to want to miss it. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving. And don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.